Let's go. Legend. 1, 2, 3, go.
Hi, welcome to the Comic Con Community Podcast. My name's Will, and today we have joining us Sarah Mcleod. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Oh, you're most welcome. Honestly, it's amazing to have you on. It really is. I'm so glad you could spare the time to join us today. Obviously, you're quite a few hours ahead of us. You're currently in New Zealand.
Yes, waking up for the beginning of my Tuesday morning in West Auckland, New Zealand.
So for those of you that don't know, Sarah played Rosie Cotton in Lord of the Rings. And you've also done a load of other TV work. Do you want to just start to tell us how you got the role of Rosie Cotton? Was that an audition, or was there some other way?
I definitely still very vividly remember it. So it was back in my early 20s, and I was living in Wellington, and I had got an agent while I was at university and teachers college just to sort of get a little bit of pocket money doing commercials. And the first audition for a drama that I ever did was for another film that Peter Jackson directed called Forgotten Silver. So that was my first ever kind of acting role. So then I think my second audition was pretty much for Rosie Cotton. And
Right.
at that point, we didn't really know how big a deal it was. So for me, it was just, okay, yeah, I'll go and do another audition. And Liz Mullane was the casting director. And she was a casting director I really liked because she'd already cast me in Forgotten Silver. So
Yeah,
it was good that I'd already worked with her before. And so it was just a normal audition. And I remember having to like put on this sort of like Hobbit accent. And even in the audition, I had to say the line, "Good night, lads," and serving the beer. So the audition was the scenario of the Green Dragon.
yes.
That was, from memory, I think that was the audition scene. And then I didn't really hear anything for quite some time because it's very common on big projects like this that it's not a quick turnaround casting process.
Yeah.
And then a friend of mine, Miranda Rivers, who was also in the casting team, so I found out I was shortlisted, but I still didn't think much of it. And I vividly remember her ringing me and saying, "This is a big deal, Sarah. This is a big film."
And you were just like, yes.
Yeah, well, Lord of the Rings, whatever.
yeah, I've heard of it. It's,
Yeah, I read the book, the books. So then, because at that point, I must have been, I was pregnant when I did the audition. I think I was about 5 months pregnant. So not sort of like massively pregnant, but they knew I was pregnant. And then when I was shortlisted, I'd had Maisie at that point. And I just remember having to do another audition that was also seeing how I was coping with being a mum for the first time.
Yes. Yeah.
So which would make sense from the casting point of view. You know, you want to make sure that
definitely
casting is can still work. And so then I found out that I had been cast.
That's crazy. Were you just like, were you blown away, or were you just like, this is going to be interesting, or was it like a big wow?
It was exciting.
Celebrations?
No, because we still didn't know how big a deal it was. So, of course it was like, oh, cool, I'm going to be playing Rosie Cotton, a Hobbit. And the first sense I got of the magnitude was doing my first wardrobe fitting. And I vividly remember having like Maisie in this little car seat, the little baby car seat. And I was taken around Weta. So I was able to see the fabrics that the costumes were being made out of. And I was able to see the art department. And even at that point, they were sort of starting to do, the scale of the different props. That was part of, the scaling effect for the films. And it was always exciting going to Weta and Stone Street Studios, because it was just like it was always like a magical land. And you were being transformed into this magical land. So I definitely remember my heart sort of like going, oh, this is really exciting, because it was just so cool and beautiful.
Yeah.
And so I think that was the first sense I had of being part of something big. And then, of course, when we were doing the filming and, you're meeting Elijah and Billy and Dom and Sean and all sort of like suddenly, and they were so welcoming. So that was when you sort of was like, thinking I'm part of a really big film. And everyone's so lovely. And these are big name Hollywood actors, and we're all just having a really great time together. It was just so lovely.
Yeah, sounds like a really good experience.
Totally. Yeah, definitely a highlight. Absolutely.
Yeah. So before you even did the audition, had you read the books and did you watch the original movie back in 1978? I think it was.
I hadn't watched the movie, but I had read the books.
Right.
I think I've still got
you had an idea.
I had particularly The Hobbit. Like I think I've still got a dog-eared copy of The Hobbit in my bookcase somewhere. That was like my my teenage year copy.
Did you get everybody to sign it while you were there, or was that not something you thought of at the time?
Didn't think of it at the time. It wasn't. That's and that's something I really want to acknowledge as well. The way that these films still live for everybody's incredible, and I really acknowledge all the people who love Lord of the Rings, like all the fans and the people who just feel so connected with it. I think part of it is because they're great stories, and so we have people who love Tolkien and have loved Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit before the films were made.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. But then I also think that the films were so well made, that people have stayed connected in that world, and in terms of everyone was so lovely that I feel like that's kept the life alive. It's kept the lore of Lord of the Rings alive.
Yeah,
but I just want to acknowledge.
Go on.
I was just going to say, I just want to acknowledge all the fans because, you guys are the ones that also keep these alive.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of similar things out, similar style movies out, but they've just not lasted. Whereas Lord of the Rings, I mean, it's over 20 years now. Is it over 20 years?
25. This is the 25th anniversary of the first film.
That's crazy. And yet they're still as popular now as they were back then. You've still got all the fans that just absolutely love it. And they've just brought out a TV show as well. Have you been watching that at all? I
watched one episode. I haven't watched. Yeah, because they filmed it in New Zealand. The first season was filmed here. I've watched one episode. I haven't watched the rest of it, but I do want to sit down with the family. We tend to go through different TV shows, and we're not quite up to Lord of the Rings at the moment. Rings of Power.
You need to finish one before you start on
the there's always so many.
The Rings of Power. That's it. That's new. I mean, I'll be honest, and I've said this on I've said similar things on so many podcasts that it was only the past few weeks I've actually watched a Lord of the Rings movies. So up till a few weeks ago, whenever it came up in conversation, I had to hold my hand up because it's amazing how many podcasts that it's come up in conversation, talking about Lord of the Rings. And I've had to hold my hand up and say I've not actually seen the Lord of the Rings movies.
What did you think?
It's amazing. I've literally just finished the number 3. When was it? I think it was Friday or Saturday. I just finished it. So, I mean, obviously, we're looking at over 9 hours of movie there between the 3. So, to squeeze that in between work and doing the podcast and everything else I do, it was a challenge, which I think is why I didn't watch them initially, because I'm not very good at sitting down for 3 hours and watching a movie.
Yeah,
it's not my skill set. I really struggle, but I just sat at my desk and I put it on my laptop and I was like, right, I'm just gonna 3 hours. I can do it. A couple of cups of coffee, and it was great. It was I absolutely loved it.
And it's interesting having obviously been in the films. I am always blown away by the emotion that I still feel when I watch the films.
Yeah, it's just the story is fantastic and the characters, they're all, they're all great. Apart from Gollum, he's not so good. But or Smeagol.
They're filming The Hunt for Gollum here in New Zealand at the moment.
Yes, that's due out next year, isn't it? 2027, I believe. Yeah. Excellent. I'll look forward to that one. I'll put 3 hours in my calendar so that I can spare the time to watch it. But no, that looks good. Have you been able to go and see any of that being filmed? Are you still in touch with any of the cast? Is it the same cast?
Well,
Do you
they've
know?
still got Liz Mullane is still casting, so I've been in
Right.
contact with her in regards to like me now being an acting agent. There's no roles for Rosie Cotton in Hunt for Gollum.
That's a
She's
shame.
not in there.
That is a shame.
But the fact that they're still making it here is great.
Yes. Oh, it really is. It really is. And is it set after the third one, or is it set?
I
Is
think
it
it
before? Do we know?
Hunt for Gollum. I'm not sure. I think
It sounds like it could be before, but I'm not.
I think they're
Yeah.
prequels. I'm pretty. Oh, hang
Right.
on. Yeah, I know that Hunt for Gollum might be a prequel.
Right.
I know that there's another one that Stephen Colbert is now writing,
Oh, right.
and it is after Frodo has died, and apparently Eleanor Gamgee, the daughter of Rosie and Sam, is the main character, and she reunites with Sam and I think Merry and Pippin, and they continue this quest.
Ah, right.
And I think it's like 14 years after Frodo has died. So yeah, so that that could get made as well.
Yeah, so that probably won't be out for another few years yet.
Oh, that'd be. I mean, they're just in the process of writing it, so that could be 2030. Yeah,
yeah, it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
Right, but no, I look forward to that one next year coming out. That'll be really good. So have you had a chance to go down and watch any of it or meet up with any of the cast? Or
No, I mean,
obviously
I think
you're quite busy.
they haven't started filming yet. They're still just in the casting casting stage.
Right.
Yeah, that's in a couple of months' time that they start filming.
Right. So not long. So I believe that your daughter played your son in the movie.
Indeed, she did. That was her first ever acting role. So Maisie played baby Frodo.
Right.
And
how did that come about? Is it just because you had a baby and they needed a baby, or?
Well, the type that actually exactly like it was actually that last scene where Sam comes home and he says, "Well, I'm back," and there's the girl with the beautiful blonde ringlets playing Eleanor, and that was his daughter.
Yes. Yeah.
Ellie. And they needed a baby. Sorry, let me just stop these dogs. Okay, they're licking the cat bowl and it's just a bit noisy. They needed a baby, and Maisie just happened to be the right age.
Oh,
so
perfect.
It just and I think that actually really added to that last scene. There we are with our firstborn, both of us.
Yeah.
In this scene, it really was something quite special.
Yeah. And was that filmed at the end of the movie, or was it filmed all out of sequence?
It was definitely filmed out of sequence. That was the first things we filmed were so they had Hobbiton in Matamata, and that's where we filmed part of the party, but not all of the party. Part of the party was actually inside at Stone Street in Wellington. Part of the Green Dragon was in Matamata. I think all the Green Dragon was in Matamata, and obviously Bagshot Row.
Right.
Some of the I think some of the Green Dragon might have been at Stone Street actually, but I vividly remember how beautiful Hobbiton was. You know, like I often talk about the real bees against the real flowers and the carrots in the garden outside, you know, Bagshot Row. And that also just added to the beauty and the heartfelt feeling of that last scene.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that set still there then? Is it?
It's there, and I mean, the ones that we filmed in got taken down, but then they redeveloped it, and now they have Hobbiton, which they've now extended even further, and they have built 2 Hobbit holes that you can now go inside.
Wow.
They are, I cried when I went to the opening. They are stunning. Oh, they've got Hobbit wardrobes, Hobbit bunks for Hobbit babies. They have running water. They have a bath, a well where you can sort of draw up the water in your kitchen. Just insanely
sounds
beautiful.
Fantastic. And is it open to the public? Can you just go along and?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's probably booked 6 months in advance, but it is absolutely worth, if you're coming to New Zealand, going to see Hobbiton and making sure you book to go into the Hobbit holes. They are just stunning.
Do you think they'll use that in the filming of the next movies, or is it now that it's open to the public, they've probably just used somewhere completely different?
I don't. Yeah, I'm not. Well, I think they'd probably be too small to get a film crew in. I think that would be
Right.
That would be
They're quite
built
tiny.
separately. Yeah, I mean, you can stand up in them, but definitely film crew. You wouldn't get a film crew in there.
No, and all the lighting and everything. No.
Mm.
That's a shame. But it would be really good to be able to film it in there, but obviously.
Well, I think that they
Not-
actually
not
had
doable.
like, well, the designer for the Hobbit holes that you can now go into is the same designer from Lord of the Rings.
Right.
So you've still got that authentic
Yeah.
detail
Everything's
all the way
exactly
through
how
to
it.
detail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Mm.
So your daughter was in the movie. Do your children follow in your footsteps?
They do.
Are they actors, actresses?
I've got 4 daughters.
Right.
Maisie is the eldest. She's 27, or nearly 27. And she's actually accompanying me. I mean, I've got this question coming up further along in this podcast, but she's accompanying me to some cons this year.
Oh, amazing.
And doing a signing with Sean and Ali, Maisie, and myself as being like the Gamgee family. So
Yes, that was
she
brilliant.
does talk about it being her first acting role. And then because quite a few American films get made in New Zealand, and Maisie and Lola, my first 2 children, did quite a lot of acting roles where they'd be like Maisie was in Bridge to Terabithia, Yogi Bear,
Yes. Yeah.
Legend of the Seeker. There were lots of quite cool opportunities when they were younger.
Mm.
And then Lola now lives in Toronto and is acting in Toronto. And
Right.
Maisie, she ended up doing a lot of work in cinematography and photography. And she also works with me as my Europe-based agent.
Wow.
So you keep bringing it in the family.
Yeah. Are you your daughter's agent as well? So the acting.
Yes, Lola's got a Canadian agent, and I'm her Kiwi-based agent.
Right. That
And then
makes
I've
sense.
got, yeah, I can look after her very well that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I've got 2 other daughters, Amelie and Nina, who both love acting. They're younger; they're nearly 12 and nearly 14. So they still live at home and still love doing acting, and a lot of dance as well.
Oh, wonderful. Have they had any TV appearances or anything like that, or are they still progressing towards that?
Amelie has had she's had some commercial roles. She had a TV role actually. There was a TV show called Mystic, a lovely child's drama that she had a small role in as well.
Right, really good, excellent.
But the industry is definitely quiet. I think these, COVID, obviously. And then we're currently still in a recession here in New Zealand, so it's a little bit quieter on the screen front TV wise here in New Zealand at the moment.
Right, that's a shame. That's a shame. Hopefully things will pick up in the near future.
Yes.
You were also in a TV show, weren't you? I'm trying to remember the name.
Shortland Street.
Shortland Street. Yes, you did 40 episodes of Shortland Street as well. So that is a soap opera based in New Zealand.
Yeah. That was fun.
Tell us a bit about that. How was that experience?
Yeah, Lord of the Rings was an absolute highlight of my career.
Yeah.
But Shortland Street was another highlight. Like, obviously, it's an institution here in New Zealand.
Right.
And it's a soap opera, so often it's lots of various relationships and love stories and heartbreak. My role was kind of different. I had a really great role where my character was called Cindy Watson, and she had the nickname of Psycho Cindy. And the storyline was around, it was actually exploring surrogate pregnancies.
Oh, right.
And which, because of course the law here is that as the surrogate, you still are the legal guardian of the parents until the adoption papers are signed by the people the person you're having children for. But it takes legally, I think you still have to be the mother of the child for a month before the adoption can actually go through.
Right.
And so
that's a good thing to have in place.
Well, it means that the surrogate can then decide to keep the baby.
Yes.
So
Well, I mean,
it's an
yeah,
interesting law,
it is
and it's an interesting
interesting. Yeah.
ethical discussion. And so this storyline that I was involved in was kind of investigating that, because basically the surrogate was pregnant with my triplets, and then I was like, you can't have 3 children, you need to like get rid of one because I can only be the parent to 2 children. So that's why she was called Psycho Cindy. And then the surrogate ended up having an affair with my husband, and they were like, we're going to keep all the babies, you're just crazy. And then I
Oh,
became a
wow.
nurse at the hospital, and she'd see me around every corner, and it got really fraught, and she got really scared of me. And then it all ended up happily after. Cindy and Trent got back together again and had the triplets, and well, the nurse had the triplets and she gave them to us, and everybody lived happily ever after.
Of
Very
course, in true soap opera style. That's it. All of the drama. I mean, these things never happen in real life, thankfully. But you know, we have a lot of soap operas over here, and you just think, I'm so glad these things don't happen in real life. It's crazy.
It was fun though. It was fun.
And you were in 40 episodes of that. So how long was that? Over a couple of years?
No, that was, I think, over 1 year.
Right.
Because it's a TV show that's well, it was 5 nights a week.
Oh, right, really? Wow.
Yeah.
That,
Kind of like EastEnders and Coronation Street.
Yeah. Is that, I mean, how much filming is involved in that? Is that just,
it's tough.
Is it draining? Is it, yeah,
it's
it sounds
tough.
like it.
The hardest thing, so with fast turnaround television like that, so, you know, Lord of the Rings, we film and it's 3 years before it ends up on the screen.
Yeah.
And you've got,
there's a lot of editing to do, and
yeah, you have like
it's not
3
just
days
film it and throw it out.
Yeah, or 3 days to film one scene. Whereas with fast turnaround television, it's like half an hour by the first take. You don't even get to rehearse, and then you move on to the next scene.
Oh gosh.
So
yeah, sounds very stressful.
But the hard thing is, like, you have so many lines to learn. That's what can be very, very tough.
Yeah. And do you have a process for that? Because I know some people are just naturally great at learning lines. What's your process?
So because I've trained actors as well in the past, and so I've got quite a few techniques when it comes to learning lines. For me, I found, and even though it was laborious, writing them out. And then what I would do is I'd write out the first letter of each word. So I'd have this page of like LRQBDTD. And so that would be me and my brain connecting with what my lines were. So that was one way.
Yeah.
Another way can often be like I'd be recording it on my phone. So I'd have, that's what I actually do for auditions often. Well, back when I used to act, was recording their lines and then filling the gap in with my lines.
Yeah.
So that was another good way. Sometimes if I'm teaching younger actors how to learn their lines, it would be like throwing a ball back to each other. Because what can often happen is you think you know your lines, but then as soon as you do another activity, you completely lose your lines. And so therefore you add something in, like bouncing a ball or throwing a basketball to each other. Because often what would happen is you'd be on set, and when you add emotion into the performance, then you'd lose your lines. Particularly, I mean, that's more for like audition training, but you've got to have your lines so in you that you can then add the layer of the emotion, and still connect and deliver the lines. Yeah,
because of course you're not just saying your lines, but you've got to know what emotion you should be using at that point when you're saying them. And you've also got to know when to say them, because obviously, you know, if you've got a few people on set at the same time in one scene, it's knowing when to say it as well, because so you're not just learning your lines, but you've got to also learn the cues.
And that's where, you know, like sometimes when you're watching a film and it's almost like it's not being acted particularly well, or there's not the connection between the two actors on that you'll see on screen, and you can I find that I can see the script because it's feeling quite stilted.
Right. Yeah.
But if there's good connection and good timing, then it's natural. Yeah.
Right. These are great tips. We always ask questions like this when we have actors on or when we have directors on. I like to talk about this kind of thing. You know, it's really interesting, and everybody's got their own techniques as well. Everybody comes up with different techniques for learning the lines or for handling their emotions, and it's really interesting. It's really interesting. So we've not really discussed it much yet, but you now have a couple of businesses.
Yes.
So do you want to tell us about those? I mean, I
Yeah.
think the watchers have probably figured that you're an agent.
Yes. It's kind of like when I was younger and I started studying law and politics and French because I wanted to be a diplomat or a translator or a politician.
Right.
Because this is sort of alluding to the fact that life never turns out how you think it's going to turn out.
No.
And I've never really, I feel like I've never really had a path that I was heading towards. Things have just unfolded before me in a divine way that things are working out how they're meant to work out. So that was, I was going to be like working for the UN was my like goals. Then I thought, oh, as a backup, I should actually probably train to be a teacher. So I trained to be a primary school teacher. That's
a good backup. That's like a
great backup.
That's a great backup.
Really good backup.
Yeah.
Then because of Lord of the Rings, that's when I sort of went, oh, actually acting's pretty good. I might just keep acting for another 10, 15 years. And then I never set out to be an agent, but I had an agent and I had a voice agent. So I was with Big Mouth Voices as a voice. And then the owner at the time, a lovely guy called Ian Hughes, called me out of the blue one day and said, hey, do you want to come and help me? And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. I can do like a bit of admin assistance for you. And then a month later, he said, do you want to buy the business?
Wow.
And he said, I don't want to be an agent anymore. And you're great. And
right.
I've just been
testing you then. Right.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So that's how I became an agent in 2011. And I loved it. I loved nurturing people because that's a big part of who I am. I loved building something. And then I discovered I loved working with a web developer and building this platform. So we ended up being more than just a New Zealand-based voice agent, but became quite global.
Right.
So we represent voices from all around the world, including in the UK and in the US. And then Maisie moved to Madrid. So she's now our Europe-based agent, which means we can provide 24/7 like service. So it means that we can look after our clients really well. So I love doing that. And then a lot of my New Zealand-based actors were like, can you please be my acting agent? And I was like, no, 4 children, no capacity. I'm just focusing on voice. And then in 2022, when my youngest turned 8, I suddenly was like, oh, hang on. Actually, I think I do have the capacity. And so that's how Mcleod Management was born.
Right. So that was the follow-up to the big production?
To big Mouth Voices.
Big Mouth Voices, right. Right.
Yeah.
So that was a bit after.
Yes, definitely. So that's really only been a recent endeavor for me, and I love it. Big Mouth is big and fast turnaround. You know, you're getting people that email and they need subs within like 4 hours because they want to record tomorrow.
Yeah,
it's quick. Being an acting agent's also very quick turnaround, but I love the fact that having stepped back from acting at about the same time, Shortland Street finished in 2011 for me, which is when I bought Big Mouth. So I kind of stepped back from performing, but now being an acting agent with Mcleod Management, it's got me back into the craft again because I'm helping actors with their self-tapes. I'm seeing the acting briefs when they come through. I'm connecting with casting directors again, going to theatre shows, being more connected with when I see films and TV shows that I've been involved with as an agent. So what I really love is that it's getting me back to the craft that I really, really love.
Yeah. Without the stress of having to learn your lines or, anything like that.
I can have my script in front of me when I'm being a reader.
Yeah, pressure free. And do you think that you're, because obviously you've spent a lot of time on screen, do you think that helps with your off screen, as an agent? Does that give you like the upper hand? Because obviously most agents probably haven't got that experience.
Well, there's a lot here who had like we've got a lot of great agents here in New Zealand. I do think that part of the value that I add to the actors that I look after is, yes, I get it. So
Yeah.
I'm very empathetic towards the highs and the lows and the various aspects of the craft. I think that does make a difference. And I also made a decision to predominantly represent women, because I think it's a hard industry to be in anyway. I personally think that being a parent is the hardest job in the world. And I think because you don't know what the heck you're doing at any time, every stage of life.
That's it.
So to all those parents out there, I see you.
Yeah. You always think everybody else knows what they're doing and you don't. You know, that's it. You always think, oh, they're great. They know exactly what they're doing. But I don't think anybody really does.
And you care so much about your children. So, you know, that's why I think maybe it's the hardest job in the world, because obviously to begin with, you don't know anything. And then you care so much.
Yeah.
And then I think the second hardest job in the world is to be an actor.
Right. I mean, yeah.
Politicians probably quite hard as well.
Yeah. I'm not sure which is harder there, actor or politician. I wouldn't fancy doing either myself. But it sounds like too stressful.
I think, politicians probably just have to have that really thick skin. And I think with actors, it's just the fact that you're bombarded with your heart all the time and your emotions. And
yeah. So what's the hardest part of being an agent, though? Is there something that you, if you could, you would just pass that bit off to somebody else to do?
I don't think I find any part of it hard. It does get frustrating sometimes with how quickly you have to sub for commercials. I do find that frustrating. I don't think that. Well, I mean, it depends. It's like hard as an attitude, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, why do you have to sub so quickly for commercials? Is that due to poor planning, or is that just the way the commercial companies work? I think,
this is a big question we have here in New Zealand, and maybe it's the same in other parts of the world as well. I think it's that it's just the chain. It's the fact that, you know, casting directors will be trying to get information from the producers before they send out a brief, and they've already had to set in place the shooting schedule and the casting schedule, and it just takes a long time for the information to get approved, which means that we get it quite last minute. And then like often we'll get like, you know, a brief at 10 that says subs by 3.
Right. So your cast have to be like ready to go. All your clients need to be like ready to go.
Well,
which is not great.
Well, it's not that they have to audition then. It's just that I've got to be sitting in front of my computer.
Oh, right.
As soon as a brief comes in and go, boom, 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 these are my subs. And, you know, I've got other things that I'm doing sometimes, particularly when I'm running 2 businesses.
Yeah. Is there something in there that could speed the process up or help you along? Is there something that,
I think
from getting somebody else to do it?
I think the key difference for me is I'm a boutique agency. So it's for a long time, it's just been me. So what it means is that I'm not a team of 10. I'm not like a big agent who's got, you know, 7 staff members. So I probably feel that challenge more than others.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's the personal choice I've made to keep my particular acting agency small. But I have got some lovely people now who have just started helping me part-time, so that if I do have a brief that comes through and I'm on a podcast, at least I can have someone else who can like be on it.
Yeah, rather than having to wait for you to be available to actually do it. And that sounds like a good thing to have in place, definitely. So you mentioned before that you've got a con coming up.
Yes, well, Lord of the Rings and Rosie Cotton. Yes, Lord of the Rings and Rosie Cotton lives on. I think because it's the 25th year and the 25th anniversary, there seems to be like a bit of a swell of interest at the moment, because I often still get asked to do cameos,
right?
Which are fun. I love doing them. And this year I got invited by the Spanish Tolkien Society to attend their 25th anniversary event in the southeast of Spain, in I think it's La Mancha. And the great thing is I happen to have a daughter who lives in Spain, so
I was just
Oh,
going to say you
sure.
can visit your daughter. You've got somewhere to stay while you're over there, and
Yeah, well, she's going to come to the Spanish convention as well.
So have you done many cons building up to this? I know it sounds like you've got a couple going on.
Oh no,
No?
I literally haven't done one for 20 years.
Wow, right? That's crazy.
Yeah, I know that Armageddon happens here every year, so that's one that that I've been asked to go to before, but sometimes I'm just not available.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
But
Comic Cons are great. They're great places to be. And do you ever visit? Do you ever go as an attendee then? Just if you have the time.
Yeah, well, see, because I know. Actually, I've been to PAX, which is video games. So the other thing with Big Mouth is we're starting to do a lot of work in the area of casting video games.
Right.
So
yeah,
those are some of that.
Yeah,
some of the cons that I've been going to, and I know that we have voice actors who are currently recording for some big video games, and so there is talk of going to Comic Con in San Francisco. Is that later on this year?
Right.
I think it might be. I think it is later on this year.
I don't keep up with my Comic Cons in the States, unfortunately. I should do. I should know it. I should know all about them, but no. Right. So, are you heading over there for that one then?
Might be going to that one, yeah.
Right. That'll be real. I mean, the ones in the States, just they blow the socks off the ones over here. You know, a lot of the ones over here, they're smaller. We have a main company called Monopoly, and they do like Liverpool and Manchester, and they're the bigger ones. But then we have lots of other little ones, but they are really, really small. Whereas the ones that I've seen in the States, they just look phenomenal. You know, they're absolutely huge, and the guests that they have there are just fantastic. You know, it's if I could, I'd just go over and but obviously, you know, if money was no object.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I mean, there's so many opportunities to go to these things, aren't they? Isn't there?
Yeah, there is. We were talking about this on the podcast yesterday. There's a lot of the ones over here. I mean, I go to a lot of the ones that are local to me are the smaller conventions. There's a company called Creed. I was there last weekend actually, and I don't know if you've ever seen Red Dwarf, but they had, it's like a comedy space show, a brilliant TV show. So they had a couple of guests from that there, and they had Brian Blessed there, and there was a few other people there, but they're just a smaller company. So you know, the entry is cheaper. The photographs and autographs, you're not paying a fortune for it. I used to love Buffy and Angel, absolutely loved it. And Monopoly were doing an event in Manchester, and they were having quite a lot of the Buffy and Angel cast there. And I said to my daughter, it'd be great if we could go, because she's just watched it. She's a teenager. She's just watched Buffy and Angel and, you know, loved it. So I said it'd be great if we could go and meet all the people there. But I think tickets alone were over £100. You know, because it's a bigger event. So then you've got your tickets, but then you've got your photographs, and they're like another £100 each. And it's like, it's just not feasible to spend that amount of money. I mean, don't get me wrong, it would be a great event to go to, but you're speaking hundreds of pounds just for one day. And for me, it's just not something I'd be willing to spend so much money on. So we have a lot of the smaller events, and they're great. I love the smaller ones. You know, you get the cosplayers there, and you get the guests there, and you get what I find is, well, with the smaller events, is a lot more activities going on. So there's a lot more interactive things that are free as well. You know, you can go and well, I'm saying this because I run the board game section at the Comic Con. But you know, you can go and play some board games, or you can go to they have a puppet show, or you know, they have different activities around that you don't always see at the bigger events. But no, I do love Comic Cons, and hopefully after you've been to these two this year, it'll spark an interest, and you'll be hooked, you know.
yeah, they are fun, and but what's lovely is everybody's there having fun.
Yes,
you know, like we've got to find joy in life, don't we?
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly right. So I mean, it sounds like you don't have time, but do you have time to watch any like big movie? Are you a nerd? Do you nerd out to anything? Have you got a favorite fandom like Star Wars or Star Trek or Lord of the Rings, maybe, or something
No,
similar, you know, or video games, or
I I have a PlayStation 5 that's plugged in that I've never turned on.
right.
I keep thinking that I really, number one, I should like be like dipping into the world of some of these video games that my actors are doing.
Yes, definitely.
And I think it'd be fun, and I love VR,
Yes,
but I just
yeah.
haven't quite had the time to get this PlayStation 5 turned on. Um, Same with Phil. Yeah, I think probably it's a little bit of a time thing, a lot of a time thing, I think.
Yeah,
And plus also, I don't know, maybe because I'm in New Zealand, we have the lifestyle of being outside a lot.
right.
So I'll often be outside more than inside in my spare time.
Yeah, yeah. What activities do you enjoy when you're outside? Is it like hiking or gardening or
Beach, I love going to the beach,
right?
and or swimming in a pool. We have a lot of beach time here in New Zealand. And I'm currently looking in my back garden. We've got quite a big back garden, and I foster kittens. So often I'm just
Oh,
in the kitten house, just sort of lying down, cuddling with the kittens.
that sounds great. That sounds great. We have a beach literally like 10 minutes where we live. We're on the coast in the UK, but obviously the weather in the UK is not. I mean, to be fair, it's been sunny today. It's been quite nice, but generally it's not beach weather.
Yeah, we're lucky
Which is
here.
a shame, you know. Yeah. What's the weather like over there generally? Is it like do you have an all year round? Is it relatively nice?
We still have seasons. The summers are long, from like December to April or end of March. You can definitely do really good swimming, and not hugely high, but 25, 26, 27-degree days.
Yeah.
Winter will get down to like maybe 10 degrees, but it doesn't snow in Auckland. It just can get a bit wet.
10 degrees is nice.
Balmy.
Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah, 10 degrees. I wish our winters were 10 degrees. That'd be great.
Yeah, don't really get lower than that.
No, that's nice. So you don't wake up to the ice or the frost or anything like that.
Nah.
No, you're so lucky. So we're just about running out of time for the podcast. One last question. If you could play any part in a remake of an existing movie, who would you choose from what movie?
I don't know about what movie and what like replicating an existing role. I just know that because I saw that question, there's two roles I'd love to play in terms of like a character. I'd love to play a rock star.
Right.
Like if there was a remake of Blondie or something like that. Just the idea. I just feel like to be able to belt out some songs on an epic stage would be something I would have loved to have done. And the other role would be like a period piece.
Right. Yeah, period dramas. Is that
I'd
your
love
thing?
to. Yeah.
Right.
Definitely would love to be in a period piece.
Yeah. I mean, maybe one day. Keep your eyes out.
Maybe. Yep.
Maybe. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. It's been absolutely fantastic having you on.
Well, it's been a pleasure to speak with you today. Thank you so much, Will.
Yes, I wish you all the best for the future, and I hope you enjoy your Comic Cons as much as we enjoy our Comic Cons. And yeah, hope you meet lots of great people and lots of Lord of the Rings cosplayers as well. I mean, how many Rosie Cottons do you think you will bump into? That's the question.
A lot.
That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. I
And
look
maybe
forward
I'll
to seeing
see you,
pictures.
and maybe I'll see you at a Comic Con one year in the future.
You just never know. You never know. Well, that's great. Thank you for joining us.
My absolute pleasure. You enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you. You too. Thanks. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.